Follow me! We shall crush them beneath us!
Will these Wookiees ever learn fantasy doesn't involve reality? But what do we know? Before we get into this, I want to show you an article from That Park Place of how people should just distinguish between fantasy and reality. This is what happens when Western AAA devs cannot distinguish between fantasy and reality. Look at this. EA's current predicament is unavoidable entirely, with many pointing of mismanagement at BioWare and the company's broader embrace of diversity, equity, and inclusion agendas as root cause of its struggle. Dragon Age Veilguard, which was supposed to be a triumphant return for the beloved RPG franchise, has fallen short of expectation. Despite projection it would sell 3 million copies at release, and a whopping 10 million over its lifecycle. The game only engaged 1.5 million players as of December 31st, 2024. That is not a good sign for. The situation at BioWare is particularly troubling. The studio, once renowned for their masterpiece like Dragon Age Origin, Jade Empire, and Mass Effect, is now seen as a shell of its former self. Insider reports from Smash JT and Grumps suggest BioWare's Edmonton studio, or headquarters, may be on the chopping block, with EA allegedly preparing to shutter the studios entirely as part of the broader cost-cutting measures. The Veilguard leaned heavily into progressive themes, a shift that alienate many longtime fans. Critics argued that the game prioritized political message over engaging gameplay, compelling storyline, resulting in a product that failed to resonate with its core audience. Yeah, of course they do. Of course they do. Seriously. That's what happens when you hire someone like Corin Bush and then you alienate all your fans. I mean, people say it's like California. It's like a virtual simulation or something. And then the shills continue to gaslight you. Some YouTubers or shills call you, well, I think I remember, you're all transphobic and you can't help yourself. And then he calls you an idiot. And then Nuri tried to, well, be reasonable. But then again, we know how this works. Doesn't matter anyway. So, how did the East fare better? Well, they make what they're supposed to do, what they're best at, and that is distinguish from reality, because they knew the difference between fantasy and reality. And guess what? They're successful. Let's take, for example, Bright Memory. That's science fiction. It doesn't have anything to do with reality. Don't you agree? What else? Stellar Blade. Another RPG. Same thing. Nothing to do with the real world. How did the East manage to win while the West keeps failing? Why is that? I'm gonna make another thing on fantasy in the next one, okay? Now, just remember one thing. Role-playing games, yeah, I know I'm mixing it up a bit, sorry. Role-playing game is mostly letting players choose it. Unlike in Dragon Age Veilguard, many developers don't let it. They just force the player to experience it. Force them upon it. Shove it in their throats. While the East, they just let the player have their fun. That's all that matters. And the East will continue to do what they do best. And that is it. Remember, there's a difference between fantasy and reality. That goes same for role-playing. Role-playing, player's choice.
You were most impressive. Surely your military skills will help guide us on the path to victory. I look forward to your continued efforts.
Like and subscribe if you want gaming news, gaming theories, or even you want to see me play games. Visit my first and third channel up here or link in the description.